I'm not gonna lie. It's GG for Type Soul, bro. I think it's time to just say goodbye to Type Soul, which is kind of unfortunate. This video is gonna be kind of like nostalgia, because, bro, Type Soul, if you really think back to, like, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like a lot of people, Type Soul was one of their first, like, anime Roblox games that they seriously grinded. Because for me, like, summer 2023 of Type Soul and, like, first re-release of Type Soul was genuinely some of, like, the funner times that I had on Roblox. Like, relatively comparable to, like, 2022 Deep Oaken and, like, super old GPO and things like that. I feel like a lot of other people feel relatively the same way. I've been seeing a lot of TikToks and things like that, where people, like, they say they miss Type Soul, right? Which makes sense. Because what current Type Soul is just doesn't feel like Type Soul. You know, the game that we got in summer 2023 was a hardcore game that was genuinely difficult. Hardly anyone had Visored, hardly anyone had Bonkai, and, like, it was genuinely fun because you actually had to grind the hell out of the game. Like, literally one hog frag would sell for like $200. That's how crazy rare the items were and things like that. And now it's like the game is literally, you can hop in, play for like an hour, you have a maxed out slot with Visored, Bonkai, and everything. I feel like that's just my own opinion. I feel like some people might not agree with me, where summer 2023, where the game was actually genuinely hard, I feel like I enjoyed that version a little bit more. But then you also have re-release, when the game died and then it re-released about like 6-7 months ago. That, like, first 2 months of re-release was also insane. I feel like a lot of people enjoyed the game then. It was still a little bit challenging, but it was still kind of hard to get items. It still felt really fun. And now where the game is now is just like, it doesn't feel like Type Soul at all anymore, I won't lie. Just like the direction of where the game went was probably the worst direction that they could have chose. They, keep in mind, the game has had 3 chances to come back now, and they've just sold on like every single occasion. The game's literally had 3 releases. Most games don't even get 1. So you can't really like blame anyone other than the devs, but at the same time, like, Type Soul as a base game, if you really look back, it was good. And then they just started adding a bunch of dumb stuff. In my opinion, what really killed the game, if you really think about it, because during like this era right here, where like essences were the best thing that you can get, I would say as soon as when they added mythicals was when I started feeling off about the game a little bit. But for sure, once when they added boss raids, that's when I was like, okay, this game's taking a really bad take on what the game should be. And like, I would say after boss raids came out, the game really started falling off a lot. And then for sure, like around this area, once when they nerfed everything and added Kyoka, that's when the game, in my opinion, was really starting to fall off. And then we just started getting more and more brain dead stuff. More Sama came out, Kendo Universal came out, like there was literally everything. The balancing was cut, like look, balancing was cut, just everything was cut, the whole game. And then there was just more and more drama situations. Like, the turn of how Type Soul went was genuinely the worst way they could have went, because, you know, the allegations on their name was already bad enough. But not only that, they started adding brain dead stuff that you had to play Clan Wars for, and then they started like messing with the balancing out of nowhere and just made some stuff completely broken. Like, the game, I don't know what they were thinking. I'm gonna be 100% honest. If you really look back on Type Soul, summer 2023 of Type Soul and initial re-release of Type Soul was like the best that we've ever had. And I feel like a lot of other people agree with that. I keep on seeing a bunch of TikToks. That's why I'm making this video, because I keep on seeing a bunch of TikToks like, oh, I miss old Type Soul. When she asks if you're okay, but you're missing old Type Soul and shit like that. But like, it is kind of real, because I was like, you know, now we have nothing. Now there's genuinely nothing. Nobody's gonna ever say that about Sorcery, because Sorcery's bunt. Like, we haven't had an actual game like summer 2023 of Type Soul since then. The last game before that, I think, was Project Slayers for me, and then GPO, and then Deep Ocean, and like things like that. But yeah, dude, I don't know when the next game like that is gonna be. Maybe Rel C's will be like that. But those are really the games that like actually get you, like, those are the games people remember, right? Because like YBAs like that, AUTs like that, like there's a lot of games where people talk about them. They can literally have 0 players and people will still talk about them. I feel like Type Soul unironically has become one of those games but it's just very unfortunate to see how it actually turned out, because all those other games that I just mentioned, they can update and they'll still get players. I feel like Type Soul is just not going to be one of those ones that will update and people will be like, okay, let me hop on it for the one time, you know? Because when AUT updates, it still gets like 50k players. When other games update, like GPO as well, they still get like 40k players. Even Deepodin. But I feel like Type Soul is going to be the only game where it's going to be one of those ones that you like have in your memory and you have good memories about, but you're not ever going to go back and play it, because just the way that the game turned out was tragic. They have hybrid races, they have 20-car and things like that, and it's just like, it's terrible. I won't lie. Now maybe that's just my own thoughts. You guys can leave your own thoughts inside the comments. I'm not gonna, like, this is by far gonna be my last Type Soul video. Kind of just saying goodbye to Type Soul, because Type Soul did a lot for my channel. I won't lie, Type Soul did a lot for my channel. Like, when I first started Type Soul literally a year ago, I was at, like, I think 10k or whatever. So, like, I'm grateful for Type Soul, don't get me wrong. But just the way that the game turned out was terrible. Like, at this point, I think I had, like, 8k subs. When this game was over, I think I had like 10k, and then we just had pure mid. We had pure mid for so long, and then Type Soul came back, and now I'm nearly at 50k. Don't get me wrong, I'm very thankful to the game. That's why a lot of my comments are like, where would you be without Type Soul? Because, hey, even me, myself, I don't know, right? But if you really look back, they sold their own bread. They sold their own bread. Like, I'm thankful for the game. The game has a lot of memories. The game was genuinely pretty good, but the game that Type Soul is right now is not the Type Soul that I think everyone here watching this video did enjoy at the time. So it's just like GG, bro. Like, the direction that they took was genuinely the worst direction. I don't know how they sold. I don't know how. And it's not even like, I'm not even trying to flame them. I'm just genuinely, like, upset that they sold their own game that hard, because I know a lot of other YouTubers are feeling the same way right now. You go look at other YouTubers, let's just search up Type Soul, like, the views are falling off, the game's falling off, and a lot of people, like, a lot of these channels were kind of built on Type Soul, just like mine, and yo, they don't know what they're gonna do. Nano, like, I'm telling you, the old Type Soul, like, when he posted True Visor plus Water Bonfire in all these videos, this was the peak of Type Soul. It might have had less players, it might have had less everything, less recognition, literally everything, but that was the peak of Type Soul. Old Type Soul was by far just the peak of it, especially when the first set of Clan Wars and things like that. It was just genuinely good. But yeah, it's really unfortunate to see how the game turned out. You guys can feel free to leave your own thoughts. I know a lot of you guys watching this video probably didn't play OG Type Soul. But yeah, dude, just the way that the game turned out was genuinely pretty tragic. In my opinion, like, summer 2023 Type Soul and first initial re-release of Type Soul is, like, genuinely pretty high up there in terms of, like, games that I can actually memorize. Like, probably, for me personally, I didn't really play GPO that much, so I got it, like, above GPO and things like that. But if you go talk about Type Soul right now, like, if we're talking about current Type Soul, no. Nobody's enjoying it, which is tragic. I feel like a lot of other people feel the same way, where they miss Type Soul. It's always in their head, I miss Type Soul, and then you go play it, that shit's buns. Because the current Type Soul is not the Type Soul I feel like a lot of people actually loved. You guys can leave your own thoughts inside the comments. That's kind of just me yapping. This is my goodbye to Type Soul. Other YouTubers might, I'm not gonna hold you, other YouTubers might say the same thing. But yeah, dude, it really is just genuinely tragic how the game turned out. It's time to move on, though, I guess, because the game is, no updates really gonna save it. No updates gonna save it, because the current game that we have, I feel like the current player base as well is kind of just people coping that the game isn't what it used to be. Like, the testers, literally everyone, it's just not at all what it used to be. So it's kind of cut. But yeah, that's just how it's gonna be. So it's unfortunate the way the Type Soul went. We'll just be waiting for the next game that's kind of like that bang that you actually genuinely have fun on. In my opinion, it could be Relseas, but we'll kind of just have to see, because we do get one of these games, like once every year, 2 years, we do get a game like this. I would say about every year. And we haven't gotten one in almost like 2 years. The last one was Type Soul, like I was saying. So hopefully we get one soon. But yeah, I guess we'll see. That's it for me. If you guys end up enjoying it, my little yap session. But yeah, that's probably gonna be the last Type Soul video I ever post, because it's just like, it's not Type Soul anymore. Let's be real, I don't know what the devs are doing, but it's just not Type Soul anymore. It feels like a whole different game. You guys can feel free to leave your own thoughts inside the comments on this whole topic of discussion, but I feel like a lot of other people feel the exact same way as me. But yeah, that's it for me, man. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.